Vana baba nana mai zvatavinga pano affordable and decent standard housing which suits the environmental and climatic conditions is a key commitment that the President has set for himself. He wants to enhance human dignity as envisioned by his Second Republic. My colleague Minister, Honorable Daniel Garwe, has recently described housing as an emotional issue, given its centrality to what people really care about. Our listening President, who lives among the people, is keenly aware of the important need for decent and affordable housing. He has therefore undertaken to significantly reduce the national housing backlog through NDS1. Today, we are gathered to witness important progress in this regard. What is particularly impressive is that this project here was funded by the National Social Security Authority, NASA, through its investment vehicle, the National Building Society. NASA represents the collective savings of our working people. What we put in NASA is the sweat of the Zimbabwean worker. This is why we always say the resources within NASA should be used properly. Asima resources ekuti anofanira kubiwa. NASA is not a feeding trough for those who lead it. The resources should be used for national development, like the development that we are seeing here today, these 600 housing units. Therefore, NASA's investment in projects like this is in line with the President's mantra that nyika inovakwa nevene vayo. Hapana cent ratakawana from outside. All these resources are local resources, Zimbabwean resources. It is further encouraging to note that during the new dispensation, NASA has increased its focus on investments of national significance in sectors such as agriculture, where the authority invested in Biridem and has also ventured into an export-oriented goat project. We are now going to conveyance the water at Biridem in order also to do horticulture for purposes of export. In the energy sector, the authority has invested in Central Grid solar power station in Nyabira, and we are also looking at other solar projects across the country. While in the property development sector, it has invested in several projects on its own and through NBS. For example, a shopping mall at Makoni Shopping Center in Chitungwiza and another mall at the Liberation City. And this mall is already taking shape. Allow me to take this opportunity to thank our President for his servant leadership that has resulted in all this unparalleled socio-economic development in Zimbabwe, which has taken place over a very short period of time. The people of Zimbabwe have noticed the change. No wonder why several groups have now emerged and declared so loudly that indeed Emerson delivers. We have witnessed young men for ED, young women for ED, teachers for ED, mapostori for ED, mawindi for ED, farmers for ED, and the list continues to grow by each day. Indeed, Emerson delivers. No wonder why our colossal party, ZANU-PF, has unanimously endorsed His Excellency as its sole presidential candidate for the 2023 harmonized election. It is now my singular honor and unique privilege to invite the emissary of the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, His Excellency Comrade Dr. Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, to address us at this occasion. Your Excellency, sir.
The Director of Ceremonies, the Permanent Secretary of Public Service, Labor and Social Welfare, Comrade Masango, the Minister of Public Service, Labor and Social Welfare, Professor Honorable Paul Mavima, Minister Nyoni, Women Affairs, SMEs, and Community Development, Minister of National Housing and Social Amenities, in absentia, Honorable D. Gago, the Deputy Chief Secretary, Engineer Marab, Honorable Ongwe, Komechirau, members of the Politburo, senior government officials here present, Home Secretary for Provincial Affairs, Comrade Muguti, the Chairman of ZANU-PF Harare Province, Comrade Masimilian, and your entire esteemed leadership. Chairman of the National Social Security Authority Board, Dr. P. Torino, and the NASA Board. Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee responsible for housing and local government, Honorable Chipukwa. Chairman of the National Building Society, Mr. Shingi Mutumbura. NASA and NBS boards, executives, management, and staff, distinguished guests, all protocol observed. I feel indeed very humbled to be presenting His Excellency the President's speech, and his speech reads as follows. It is indeed an honor and privilege to address you at this auspicious commissioning ceremony of the National Building Society's Dzivarasekwa Housing Project. As you may be aware, housing is the basis of stability and security for an individual or family. It is the center of our social, emotional, and sometimes economic lives. As such, a home is a sanctuary, a place to live in peace, security, and dignity. International human rights law recognizes everyone's right to an adequate standard of living, including adequate housing. In light of the importance of adequate housing, the 1948 Universal Declaration of Human Rights and the 1966 International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights recognized it as part of the right to an adequate standard of living. Ladies and gentlemen, in line with the National Development Strategy, my government is strengthening social infrastructure and social safety nets, with housing delivery being the specific priority. It is also in line with the National Building Society's mandate of contributing to the national housing stock to augment efforts of enhancing social security. The Second Republic is addressing the housing backlog and the inadequacies of attendant infrastructure through prioritizing citizens' access to affordable and quality settlements in both urban and rural areas. Focus is on construction of new housing units, such as this Dzivarasekwa project, as well as upgrading informal settlements with the necessary basic and social services infrastructure and amenities in order to improve the quality of life. As part of my government's efforts to deliver 220,000 housing units, the National Building Society has contributed these 600 houses with different models ranging from one-roomed to four-roomed houses. Dzivarasekwa is but one of many housing projects that have been taken and achieved by the National Building Society to date. The Society has already delivered close to 2,000 units through the completion of housing projects and the provision of mortgage financing to individuals. To the beneficiaries, congratulations on your new homes. As your president, I take pride in the fact that you can now be counted amongst the nation's homeowners. Yes. To the NBS, I would like to commend you for banking, building, and going beyond for our people. Yes. You have embraced the demands of your mandate to deliver affordable housing through the indiscriminate provision of financial services. Thus, I applaud your achievement in completing and commissioning this Dzivarasekwa Housing Project. Let me thank the Society's board, directors, and all the Society's committed staff for an excellent job. Well done. This housing project ranks as the greatest undertaken by NBS Naturally, a development of this scale will have its ups and downs. I'm informed that it is a legacy project which was initially embarked on as an off-take agreement with a private developer in 2017. Unfortunately, along the way, there were several delays in its implementation for various reasons beyond NBS control. Cognizant of the negative circumstances that ensued, I'm pleased that concerted efforts were made to conclude the Dzivarasekwa Housing Project. As you have witnessed today, the surfacing of roads has been completed, along with the sewer and waterworks. Requisite approvals have been obtained from Council, allowing occupation of the housing units by prospective homeowners possible. Moreover, the compliance certificate process is at an advanced stage, and this will lead to issuance of title deeds. I call on other stakeholders, including the private sector and development partners, to emulate this initiative to deliver affordable and quality housing and settlements. Ladies and gentlemen, I am impressed by the strides that the National Building Society has made in Harare, including projects such as Adelaide Park, Amalinda, and Stonebridge, as well as in other towns such as Woodbrook in Bindura and Magakoshila in Shurubi. On one level, the success of NBS speaks to effective partnership with various stakeholders within the human settlement development agenda, which includes public-private partnerships. I am reliably advised that NBS views collaboration as critical in the delivery of affordable housing. A good example of this is the project that is underway through the collaboration with local authority. Other partnerships of note are with private players, which includes Harare, NBS Park, Merwente, and in Hoppeville. These projects were financed and earmarked for prospective home seekers, which includes fellow Zimbabweans in the diaspora. Another contributor to NBS success in the housing delivery space is the willingness to adopt new technologies. I'm told that here in Dzivarasekwa, one of the units has a solar solution installed as part of efforts to embrace green energy and enhance convenience for NBS customers. Furthermore, at the NBS Malok project in Norton, where housing units are being constructed, a biodigester has already been connected as another route of embracing modern green energy technologies. Ladies and gentlemen, it is pleasing to note that the Society has several other projects in the pipeline. In Motare, 158 units are anticipated from the New Mara development, while in Chinoi, 723 units are nearing completion. I would like to profoundly commend NBS for incorporating my government's trust around densification in some of the upcoming projects. Here in Harare, there are two developments of note around this concept, one being a complex of 288 flats in Glodina, and the second in Tino, South Harare, with construction of 120 sunset villas scheduled for completion in the first half of 2023. I'm certain that this project will be delivered successfully given the society's track record. Your overwhelming positive results to the NBS will point to the meaningful contribution to the building of our nation. Ladies and gentlemen, drawing inspiration from this accomplishment we have witnessed today, let us pursue with fortitude and zeal the journey to improve the lives of our people through housing, affordable financial services, or whichever means are available to us. May we continue to cultivate and build our society where hope, harmony, and unity will prevail. Together, we should strive towards a prosperous future. Nyika inovakwa nevene vanhu. With these remarks, it is now my honor and privilege to declare the National Building Society Dzivarasekwa Housing Project officially commissioned. God bless you. God bless Zimbabwe. Ngatenda, I thank you.
Master of Ceremony, P.S. Masanda. His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Comrade Dr. Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, here represented by Honorable Minister of Defense and War Veterans, Oppah Muchinguri-Kashiri, Minister of Public Service, Labor, Social Welfare, Honorable Professor Paul Mavima, Minister of National Housing and Social Amenities, Honorable Daniel Garwe in absentia, Minister of Women's Affairs and SME Development, Honorable Tembiso Nyoni, the Deputy Chief Secretary in the Office of the President and Cabinet, all government officials that have graced this occasion, the National Social Security Authority Board Chairperson Dr. Percy Toriro in absentia, hereby represented by Vice Board Chairperson Ms. Chinyemba, the NASA Acting General Manager Dr. Charles Shala, the NASA executives, management, and the staff among us, the National Building Society Chairperson Mr. Shingi Mutumbwa, the directors, and of course the team from NBS here present, esteemed partners and beneficiaries of the NBS Dzivarasekwa Housing Project, members of the Fourth Estate here present, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to say all protocols observed. First and foremost, I extend sincere appreciation and gratitude to our guest of honor, His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Dr. Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa. Thank you for accepting our invitation. Thank you for scheduling time to officiate over this commissioning ceremony of the NBS Dzivarasekwa Housing Project, one of the many that is to come, including the various that you've shared. This is all towards and in support of the fulfillment of your vision 2030 of a prosperous and an empowered upper middle income society, leaving no one and no place behind. Mati simudzira uye tinotenda negwara ramuri kutidzidzisa rokuti and rokutaridza kuti nyika inovakwa nevene vayo. Most importantly, we thank you for the opportunity to serve our beloved nation. To the Minister of Public Service, Labour and Social Welfare, Honorable Professor Paul Mavima, your support to the society to this day has been overwhelming. Thank you for your leadership and your guidance, your numerous visits to this project site, pushing us, and your commitment to all the projects that are underway. To Honorable Garwe, the Minister of National Housing and Social Amenities, in absentia, we are greatly honored that you brought your presence to this momentous day. Thank you for addressing this gathering. The National Housing and Social Amenities Ministry and your support has been exceptional. We trust that your expectations were met with this project and will continue to strive to meet your expectations in the discussed and planned future projects. A heartfelt thank you to the permanent secretaries, with a special mention to our line ministry permanent secretary, Mr. Masanga, who has also been a great master of ceremony. Senior government officials and other dignitaries of the state who've graced this occasion today, a thank you. As NBS, we are in a drive to play our part in contributing to the collective aspirations of this country, more specifically as outlined in the National Development Strategy 1. To our parent company, the National Social Security Authority, the board chairman, Dr. Toriro, the acting general manager, Dr. Charles Shah, and staff, you established us to aid your mandate of social security by provision of housing. And I believe that today we have demonstrated execution of that mandate. Commissioning of this project would have not been possible without the significant input of our various partners here present. Thank you, especially to the consultants, the contractors, the partners whose execution, oversight, and action on ground has brought us to this very day today. I would like to appreciate our partners in the media. We take note with satisfaction the solid journalist reporting that has occurred around the Dzivarasekwa Housing Project over the past years. Thank you for the media coverage and for telling our story in a compelling way. To the beneficiaries of the Dzivarasekwa Housing Project, who are also our valued clients, we remain ever grateful that you allowed us to continue to serve you. We are because you are. And we assure you that we do not take your custom for granted. To all our distinguished guests, your presence today is much appreciated. We thank you for attending. To everyone here present, the commissioning of this ceremony has been a success, and I would like on behalf of the society to extend our deepest gratitude. As these proceedings draw to a close, we look forward to the future. Be assured that we will have the pleasure of hosting you all again, and especially Your Excellency. We look forward to celebrating another housing project as we contribute to building the nation brick upon brick. We have projects that we are looking at in the horizon, which include in towns such as Mutare, Bulawayo, and in Chinhoyi. And in parallel, we are developing solutions for the large pool of informal sector and working with the rural district councils for provision of housing throughout the nation. In closing, Your Excellency, vana venyika yenyu tisu uyezve nhasi nemune ramangwana tinenge tiri kungoramba tichivaka brick by brick. For as long as there is an NBS, you can be rest assured that for our people, we will continue to bank, build, and go beyond. I thank you.